Bill Bryson, American-born author, spent a vast majority of his life in Great Britain, and that really affected the idea of most of his books. He was born in the United States in Des Moines, Iowa, but remained there for only a short period of time. Bryson dropped out of college after 2 years to backpack around Europe for 4 months and ended up moving to Britain, where he began his career as a writer. Their family decided to make an instinctive move back to America, choosing to live in a small town in New Hampshire. In this small town, about a block from his home, was a section of the Appalachian Trail. Walk in the Woods is inspired by Bill Bryson's experience of walking the Appalachian Trail, which is about 2,000 miles long, with one of his close friends, Stephen Katz. At the time, Bill Bryson wrote this book while he was visiting the United States after a long time, so it has a lot of emotion in it. He was on a journey to see how America had changed over the years, and it was very fascinating to him. Bill Bryson's writing is by far the most intriguing because I've never been so determined to finish a nonfiction book. The way he writes makes me feel like I'm actually experiencing what's happening in the book. There is truly not a dull moment within the book, thanks to Bill Bryson's humorous and sarcastic tone. He incorporates his fantastic wit into the historical and factual information to liven up a topic that may not be so interesting to his readers. Humor is a great technique to keep people entertained, and Bill Bryson nailed it. Instead of having the usual monotone writing for nonfiction books, he lightened it up with his sarcastic tone for everything. He uses these methods to poke fun at wacky characters. Bill Bryson uses many comparisons, using mostly similes and some metaphors to emphasize his humor. It really gives the reader a perspective on how it's viewed through the author's eyes. When he first saw Katz, this was his first impression. Quote, "I imagined him bouncing up and down on the Appalachian Trail like some wind-up toy that had fallen on its back." There were many instances where Bill wrote imagery to convey his surroundings. Most of the imagery is so descriptive that it takes up at least a page. In the chapters where he's hiking, the imagery is mostly about how his surroundings look. When he reached the summit of Springer Mountain, he decided to examine the view. The rolling swell of the Cohutta Mountains, brushed with a bluish haze the color of cigarette smoke, and using a common color to show the readers what he's seeing. The research included in this book shows how prepared he was for the hike, but he introduces these information as if he's having a conversation with the reader, which I found very interesting. Usually a list of facts leads readers to boredom, but Bill Bryson adds his own opinions to them, which makes it even more interesting to read. Throughout pages 62 through 68, Bill Bryson continues to rant facts linked with his opinion. For example, when he was talking about the U.S. Forest Service, he quoted, "In fact, mostly what the Forest Service does is build roads. I am not kidding," which was his opinion of the U.S. Forest Service. This book is about Bill Bryson's and his friend Stephen Katz's journey on the Appalachian Trail. The thought of hiking on this trail first came to Bill Bryson because it was near his house. Out of curiosity, he and his friend decided to hike the trail. Soon he realized hiking is not as easy, but even more difficult with Stephen because, unfortunately, he was a recovering alcoholic and had gained a lot of weight over the years. All of these factors overwhelmed them, and they began to realize how they tasked themselves more than they could handle, which is why they skipped many parts of the trail. As they skipped the trail in Virginia, I could personally connect with their journey because I have experienced them firsthand, as I live about only an hour away from these attractions. In the majority of chapters 11 and 12 of the book, Bryson and Katz decide to drive to Virginia and hike the AT Trail through Shenandoah National Park. The scenic road that runs down the spine of the park is one of the most popular routes in Virginia and is visited and loved by millions of Americans. This 105-mile road contains 75 expansive overlooks and several splendid views of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Bryson and Katz experience this natural beauty when they decide to walk directly on the road itself instead of the trail. Bryson seems to really enjoy walking along Skyline Drive with its, quote, "gentle curves leading to arresting, thoughtfully composed panoramas," and often refers to Shenandoah National Park as his favorite part of the Appalachian Trail. Bryson often uses numbers and statistics in his book in order to communicate important information about the trail to the reader. For instance, in Chapter 2, Bryson
explains how, quote, bear attacks in North America have increased by 25%. He uses statistics such as these to demonstrate the risks and dangers of the Appalachian Trail.
In the book, Bryson and Katz even encounter 2 black bears while camping in the woods of Shenandoah. But from my experience, I have never had an encounter with a bear, even though I spent a long time there. Bryson mentions a fact about this in Chapter 11, page 200, saying Shenandoah is said to have the highest density of black bears, making it seem like that spotting a black bear would be normal. I disagree with this because I have never seen a bear, making Bryson's claim about everyone seeing one invalid. However, later on in Chapter 12, he confirmed it with a daily hiker that he had seen a bear once out of the multiple times he had hiked. Researching into this, Shenandoah Park is known for its abundance of black bears, but they aren't often seen. On the Shenandoah National Park website, they have an entire section dedicated to procedure if encountered by a black bear, just in case. In 2016, however, there was some unusual bear activity causing the park to close down some of the southern parts, but not many details were given, therefore not any conclusions could be made.
Bill Bryson's main purpose for writing A Walk in the Woods was to describe his entire journey and experiences while walking the Appalachian Trail with his friend Stephen Katz. By the end of the book, there is a strong theme of perseverance. The duo ended up hiking only 870 miles, considerably less than half the AT, but they were still proud of the fact that they tried. They hiked a significantly long distance and faced many challenges, yet still pushed through. They both learned to enjoy the companionship of one another while hiking and ended up being very close friends in the end.
I would recommend A Walk in the Woods to a wide variety of people. I believe travel fanatics, nature lovers, and everyday Americans will be especially interested in this book. Throughout his experiences, Bryson discovered an America that millions of people scarcely know exists. I think nature lovers or frequent hikers would thoroughly enjoy this book because Bryson often describes the beauty of the benign, dark power of the woods. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this book for young people, as there are multiple crude jokes in adult language. Other than that, this book teaches valuable lessons about perseverance and friendship and is a great read if you want to smile or laugh.